got that monkey off your back. You picked up that National Tour win. Let's start off by talking about Friday night. That was a pretty good win that you had there. You beat Roger Crockett, Matt Covington to the line. Talk about Friday night first. Let's get into that.
Well, it was a pretty good start to the weekend for us. We had a pretty good heat race run. Didn't qualify the fastest in our heat race, but we were able to pick up a spot, and that put us in the first couple rows of the A feature, and then they ended up inverting sixth. So we were the lucky one to start on the pole that night. And at Devils Bowl, anytime you can be out in clean air, it makes a big difference, and it helps out a ton. So we had a really good car. So I knew if we could just go out there and make some really good, consistent laps, we should be able to do it if we need to. So Dalton had the car really good in the heat race, so we didn't do a whole lot for the A feature, and just got a pretty good start. Went out there and just went to the top and got in a pretty good rhythm there, and the car was really good. It seemed like if I needed to go to the bottom, I was able to move around and go top and bottom on both sides. So the car was good, and after we picked up the win there Friday night, it gave us a little more confidence going into Saturday. And the championship here was pretty tight going into the weekend, and we knew how good Wayne is at Devils Bowl, and we knew we had to be on top of it to be able to beat them. So we felt like we had a little bit of pressure going into the weekend, but when everything's rolling good, everything works out. It all plans out and works out.
It wasn't really a stellar weekend for Wayne Johnson. On Friday night, he ended up running seventh. That's exactly what you needed, right? You needed some space in between you. You needed to get a few cars in between you and Wayne Johnson for this championship, right?
Yeah, anytime we're running for a points championship, it seems like you find yourselves pretty close to each other. And luckily for us, Friday night, Wayne had to run a B feature, and he made it through and had to start towards the back of the A feature. And like I said, obviously we knew he had some really good speed there, and anytime we can be starting towards the front of the race and have that guy starting towards the back, it makes it a lot better for us.
Yeah. All right. So Saturday night. That was a thrilling race, to be honest with you. Chase Randall was out he was out quite a ways on you there towards the end of the race, but then the lap traffic got in the way a little bit, and you were able to run him down. Take us through your thoughts there in those final laps.
Really we had good speed early in the night Saturday, and the track was quite a bit different from Friday, so we had to do a couple things different to the car for the A feature, and we really weren't the best early on in the A feature Saturday night, and we found ourselves in the fifth spot early on in the race, and some early race contact between Scott and Covington put us in third on a restart, and I felt like I was a little bit better than Sam, and I felt like I could get by him, but like you said, Chase was really good, and he was rolling the bottom really consistently and not making very many mistakes on the bottom, and we found ourselves in lap traffic about halfway through that race, and I noticed that Chase really wasn't wanting to move off the bottom if he didn't have to, and the top was there, but you really had to make sure you hit your marks to be able to get some good momentum going. So once I got by Sam and we had a couple other cautions towards the end of that race, it still seemed like Chase is really the dominant car of the race, and I went out there and just tried to make sure I hit my marks on the restarts, and I knew I had to be in some lap traffic to be able to get something really work there. And with 3 to go, we got towards the back of the field, and I really started rolling there. I started changing the way I was entering in turn 3, and I was able to make the exit of 4 a little bit better, and really picked up some speed the last few laps. And once he got to the back of the field, there was a couple of the guys running the bottom, and really put him in a bad situation where he didn't want to get off the bottom to enter on top in 1 and 2, and he hasn't been up there in 3 and 4 the whole race. So with me knowing that, he made one little mistake off of turn 2 and got a little bit sideways, and it was able to give me just a little bit of a, and we had the top wide open and was able to go up there and make the move, and was able to get the white flag that time around. And in my head, once we got the white flag, I just told myself, just make sure we hit the marks in 1 and 2 and hit the top in 3 and 4, and it should be ours.
Were you a little surprised that the top was open for you when you went in there and you ripped the top in 3 and 4 to get the lead? Were you a little surprised that the top was open like that, or were you not surprised?
I wasn't expecting Chase to go up there. Like I said, I knew he was pretty much on the bottom the whole time. I was hoping none of the lap cars would go up there. I hadn't really been able to pay attention to what they were doing a whole lot. And, I just knew he wasn't going up there, and, with one lap to go, I really didn't have a whole lot to lose. So it was one of those moments where we just had no option, just go up top and let her eat.
Yeah. When you size yourself, listen, everybody knows that Sam is probably one of the better 360 drivers in the country, right? You and Sam, and there's a few other guys that are really good, exceptional at running these 360 cars. When you felt like you were better than Sam, did you feel like you had a chance to win the race when you knew that you were a little bit better than Sam?
No, not necessarily, because Chase was so dominant with the race. I felt like Chase was in a little ball game of his own there towards the beginning of the race. He had really good speed, and he was rotating the bottom really well, where it seems like me and Sam were a little tighter than Chase was, so it was a little harder for us to row the bottom once the moisture came back too. So, last year, the only reason I have so much confidence, last year we had really good speed at the end of the season when we were at Devils Bowl, and the beginning of this year we had some really good speed. So, I felt really confident going into the weekend, but, really, I just wanted to be able to put our name on that list of winners there, and to go out there with such confidence, I feel like it makes a big difference.
Yeah. 147-point lead. What do you got to do to win the championship at the Fuzzy Fall Fling? What do you got to do there? Have you done the math yet and figured out what you got to do?
No, really, I feel like what we got to do is what we've been doing all season, just to go out there and be as consistent as possible. Obviously our goal every night is to win, but after that, it's to just be consistent. We want to pick up wins, but we also want to be able to pick up championships too. But, I think they fall hand in hand together, and, we've had really good speed this last half of the season, and, I feel like we just go out there and do what we've been doing thus far, and feel like we've had some good speed. And, anytime we be able to go to Creek County, I feel like we've got a good chance to win a race. So the confidence is there. We look forward to going there every time we get a race there, and anytime it's a national race, it's fun.
Yeah.